What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central, and today we're going to recap the game where the Mets won 7-6 over the Colorado Rockies. Before we jump into it, leave a like on the video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're a Met fan, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And it's games like this that just aggravate me because they won the game, but it's like, I hate the heart attack game so much. It's just so annoying. I have a lot of thoughts, honestly, after this game, but we'll start with the recap and then I'll give my thoughts, obviously. But top of the first 1-2-3 inning from Sean Manaea, who was on the bump today for the Mets. And then the Rockies had Gordon on the bump today. He, in the bottom of the first, got Lindor to strike out. Nimmo flies out. Martinez gets hit by a pitch. And then Alonso strikes out. We go to the second inning, where the first two outs are very easy for Sean Manaea. Then Rogers walks, and then a home run. He allows a home run to Taliga. Said his name wrong at first, to Taliga, and that ends up making it 2-0. Then Goodman strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second, where Alvarez flies out, and then the parade just started out of nowhere of home runs. You have Vientos crush a home run, 2-1. IGLESIAS crush a home run, 2-2. McNeil doesn't crush a home run, hit the ball hard, but ends up grounding out there. And then Harrison Bader hits a home run, 3-2. Lindor would walk, and then Nimmo would fly out. That ends the inning, but all of a sudden the Mets gain the lead there after Manaea struggled. And that's something that I love about this team lately, is that when guys fall, they pick each other up. And Manaea struggled that inning. The Mets lineup said, "We got you. We're going to pick you up." And it was the bottom of the lineup too, nonetheless. So I love, and that's another thought, because I said I have a lot of thoughts here, but I love how they're getting contributions from up and down the lineup right now. And that's something that is the DNA of a true contender. And that's something that really made me feel good about this win. But then, of course, we know what made us all feel a little scared about this game here. But regardless, like I was saying before, yeah, top of the lineup doesn't even produce that much in general. Like, JDM 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts. Alonso 0-for-3 with 2 strikeouts. Nimmo and Lindor each got a hit. And then Lindor had 2 walks, but still the top of the lineup wasn't up to par tonight. And the bottom of the lineup just got the job done. We go to the top of the third, though. First 2 outs again for Manaea. Allows a single to Tovar, but McMahon with strikeout. We go to the bottom of the third. 2 outs there, a strikeout and a ground out from Martinez and Alonso. Then Alvarez with a double and Mark Vientos with a double to make it 4-2. And IGLESIAS grounds out. That's the end of the inning, but the Mets expand on their lead at the very least. And again, I will always be a Mark Vientos guy until the day I die. But we go to the bottom of the fourth after a easy top of the fourth for Sean Manaea. And in the bottom of the fourth, McNeil with a single, and then Harrison Bader crushes his second home run of the night, making it 6-2. Lindor would walk, Nimmo with a single, and it drives me insane how they couldn't tack on another run here, as the Rockies have to go to the bullpen, and then Martinez would strike out, a walk from Alonso, and then Alvarez would pop out, Vientos would fly out, and it sucks that they couldn't tack on more runs, especially with how close this game unfortunately got. In the top of the fifth, a ground out, line out, and then a single, and then a strikeout there. So again, Manaea not even getting really into much trouble. Things coming fairly easy for him. Then the bottom of the fifth, IGLESIAS gets his second home run of the night, 7-2 Mets, and very thankful for that home run with, again, the outcome of this game. But McNeil would pop out, Bader pops out, Lindor with a single, steals a bag, and then Nimmo grounds out. We go to the 6th inning, where Ezequiel Tovar flies out, Ryan McMahon hits a single, Elias Diaz flies out, and then you have Doyle, who lines out. Bottom of the 6th, Mets go down order. Top of the 7th, I love Sean Manaea being back out there in the top of the 7th, because you need to get length out of your starters, number 1. And number 2, you have a pretty safe lead. Why not? And unfortunately, Rogers, though, in the first at-bat ends up getting a leadoff home run, 7-3. But I like that Mendoza did not panic, and he didn't force the hand early here. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to rock with Manaea. And then he gets the 2 strikeouts, gets a pop out there, and that ends the inning. And now you got yourself a starter who went 7 innings, which Manaea's start was really good. Like, this was probably the best Manaea start we've seen. 7 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, only 1 walk, which walks are typically an issue for Manaea, and 9 strikeouts. I know he allowed the 2 home runs, but I loved Sean Manaea's start still so much. And His sweeper was working today. I thought that was his most effective pitch, to be honest with you. But again, like, Manai looked good. Manai looked good, and you needed this type of outing from him. Bottom of the 7th, Vientos would walk, and then Iglesias would strike out here. Mendoza, I love this so much from Carlos Mendoza. Buck Showalter, if he was here, he would have been yelling at Iglesias in the dugout for complaining to the ump. That strike 3 call was garbage, and Carlos Mendoza gets ejected from the game, trots out there, gets his money's worth for the ejection, and gets right in the ump's face. I absolutely love the fire that we saw from Mendoza first ejection, and that's all that I've wanted from a Mets manager, a guy that's willing to go to war for his guys, and Buck Showalter was never doing any of that crap. Like, this is why I never liked him, and I never liked the hire in the first place. It was just, he's too much of a nonchalant guy. You need a guy with fire for both the team and the fans itself, and the fans absolutely loved it. I loved it. But granted, I am a fan, of course. I'm nothing more than that. But regardless, then Jeff McNeil would ground out. First, he was called safe. They review it and then ends up getting overturned. Then in the top of the 8th, Jake Diekman comes in the pitch. And I think we all knew what was going to go down here at this rate, right? Because it's the same story, and this is why Jake Diekman needs to be off the roster as soon as tomorrow even, because he cannot get outs that he's supposed to get. He comes in to face lefties like Charlie Blackmon, allows a home run. Tovar gets a double, and then McMahon grounds out. Maton has to come in, gets Diaz to line out, and then allows a home run to Doyle, which when Diaz lined out and that went so, like, that ball was hit aggressively into Iglesias' glove, and I am so glad he made that play, because then it would have been a tie game from that home run. But once that ball was hit, I was like, because that was 109 off of the bat, I'm like, Doyle, I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised if the Rockies bring this game within reach, and I didn't want it to be true, but Doyle hits a home run, and then Rogers strikes out, so at least there was no further damage there. We go to the bottom of the 8th here as the Mets go down in order. Diaz comes in, and I hate how much we had to sweat it out. Gets the first 2 outs, fairly simple, and then walks Hilliard. He ends up stealing a bag. Blackmon ends up walking after just Diaz had him in that at bat too, which is what's even more infuriating. And I'm like, I don't feel good about this. I'm like, Tovar's probably going to at the very least tie this game. And he was very aggressive in that bat. That second pitch that he swung at, thank you for swinging at that, because that was really stupid. And Diaz ends up shutting the door. Beautiful slider on the last pitch there to end the game, and the Mets hold it down. I'm hoping that means Diaz is still available for tomorrow, because you really don't want to be in a spot where you lose Edwin Diaz for tomorrow, because Christian Scott, if he's on a pitch limit, you're pretty limited with your bullpen options already to begin with, because I can't imagine Maton's definitely out of commission tomorrow because he's pitched 2 games now. Diekman, I think, has pitched 2 games out of commission. You want a guy like Diaz to be available tomorrow if he needs to. I think he would be, maybe. I know he threw like 20-something pitches, but I still feel like maybe he would be available tomorrow if they need him. Outside of that, you're looking at guys like Ottavino, which, I want to vomit. And then outside of that, Jose Budo maybe is available in that game. Nunez should be available. So at least you have some options there. Maybe Danny Young, Eric Orzi. So you do have some options there, but you need a guy that's going to get high leverage outs. And I know that Diaz struggled tonight, but you still trust him more than a lot of these pitchers. And I thought Diaz honestly should have got the 8th inning to get the final 2 outs, because I was like, why not just put him in for the middle of the order and then get Maton to come in to pitch the last inning? Because if you're going to work Maton, at least make it be for a full inning, so you're at least getting your innings worth, and then let Diaz get the shorter inning, because then you have him available for tomorrow. But I don't know. And in the middle of the order thing, like I mentioned, I felt Diaz should have been in that spot, but again, hindsight's hindsight, and it doesn't matter because they won the game. But that was just kind of the thought process as I was playing couch manager in my head, of course, watching the game, and I was thinking that, like, yeah, maybe they should have Maybe they should have went with Diaz there, but again, it doesn't matter. They won. Still in a wild card spot. Now they're in a spot where they've won 3 games in a row, so or 4 games now, right? Because they swept the Nationals. But regardless, yeah, huge win. And it's even more important to just secure the series win tomorrow because, one, I'm going to be in attendance for the game tomorrow, so I'd really appreciate, a win for the first time me going there since opening day, where they did not look good in opening day. And then on top of that, I would just appreciate them beating a bad team like the Rockies. Feltner on the mound, who has 1 win on the season. Christian Scott looking to get his first big league win, which I hate that I'm even saying it because I say it every single time he's coming up in the rotation, and then he never gets said win. But I won't even say it. I won't say it because I feel like I'm jinxing at this point. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.